Caesar produced a gift.
All right, GM Mother Fra. Okay, I'm not allowed to say that. I'm not allowed to be Gila. But welcome everybody to the Ronin Radio. And yeah, joining me on the co-host is none other than my good friend Mr. Stark. Let's get them in the camera. There we go. GM MCX, what is good, brother? In the chat right now. You guys excited? You guys ready to get some keys to the kingdom? I had to bring it out there, right? A little bit of that joke, courtesy of our good friend Ingrid Red. What is good, everybody? Eris in the chat as well. Eris seems familiar. I think I've seen him in one of my streams back then when I was doing a lot of Axie stuff. All right. It's gonna be an exciting one. And all right. Hosting a show tonight where we're gonna be talking to a founder who has built the first major third-party Axie game, which is actually live on Ronin right now. And yeah, we're gonna sit down with him, have him explain or how it happened and why it happened and all that good stuff. And and see what that can bring for the other builders that are watching the show. So
yeah, it should be an interesting show with a very interesting guest. I've been looking forward to this. It's been a while since we've been. You played it a bit too, right? Like it's been a while since we got like hooked into a sticky game, let's say. So excited to get to know a bit more.
I got to play a lot of it, and I was able to kill the doggo at one point, but no blessing for me. I am
so bad at it. I haven't come across the doggo yet. I've gone to like level 11, but just it's a skill issue, I think.
I think there is a technique where you need to have at least like 5 keys per run, and it increases the chances of the dog or the wolf. I'm not sure how you call it, but yeah.
Good thing we have a guest that might be able to answer those questions for us.
If he couldn't answer that question of the chances and all that stuff, then I don't think he should be the founder of that game. But
he can answer them. It doesn't mean he will. Some things are better left unsaid.
All right. Well, let me just paint the picture here real quick. Yesterday, Ronin actually just completed the migration to Ethereum layer 2. So
2 days ago. 2 days ago.
2 days ago? Was it 2 days ago?
It was on the 12th. It's the 14th.
Okay, my math is wrong then. So we are, I guess, 48 hours in, and we have the founder of the studio that just shipped the first major third-party Axie game. And it's live on Ronin Network. And he's going to be, as I've mentioned earlier, he's going to be sitting with us talking about how it happened and all that stuff. And the timing's not coincidence because, we did plan it. It has been, coming for a long time now. So Axie Den, for those that don't know about it, Axie Den is Den of Mysteries, was launched on the 30th of April. It was built by On-Chain Heroes, a dungeon crawler running on Ronin. It's been live for 2 weeks, and there had been a lot of real players that playing the game. If you look at the chat, there is a chat box on the left-hand side of if you go to axiedom.xyz right now, there is a chat box right there, and there's a lot of folks that are asking for keys. So if you are one of those in the chat, make sure to stay tuned because we're going to be giving away 20 keys, if I'm not mistaken, to a couple of winners if you stick around, okay? Stick around towards the end of the show. We'll be raffling it off. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. We're going to give away those keys. So make sure to stay. And but today's not going to be about game mechanics. Today's about the man who actually built the game, how he got here, and what was his decision to build on Ronin, and what that means for every other studio that are probably watching the show. So this is the blueprint, and we're going to walk through it with none other than Carly. Let's bring him to the stage.
Yo, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you fine, good sir.
Amazing. Thanks for having me.
Yes, amazing as well that for you to be here. And yeah, we just I guess we want to talk to you about you know how things have the last 3 weeks, but and then on top of that the other stuff that happened before that. But for those that don't know who Scarly is, can you give us like a quick intro on who you are and how you got into Web3?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Scarly, the founder of On Chain Heroes. My background is in software engineering, so I've been an engineer for the 10 plus years at this point. And I entered Web3 in 2021 through NFTs, through like the whole NFT boom. I saw like there was like this new thing that was going around, and I didn't really have plans to go hard at first, but it was interesting. I found like gaming NFTs, and of course, that's when I first heard about like Axie Infinity. But I was priced out at that point, so I ended up joining like some other games, notably Wolf Game, which was like a big, kind of play to earn type game back then. And I joined as a community member, ended up joining the team full time as their first engineer, and I built out a lot of the Wolf game that's live today, and I stayed there for 2.5 years. I stayed through the acquisition to Pixel Vault, and I left just before the migration to Blast. So that's kind of like my history on who I am. And in late 2024, so almost 2 years ago, I thought, now's probably like the best time to like start my own thing. I've always wanted to do it. All of the stars had aligned, so I just like made a Twitter account, right? It had like 0 followers, and then
Yeah.
from there we scaled up to landing, probably like one of our dream collabs with Axie Infinity. Um, and yeah, that's the TLDR of who I am and how we got here.
Wow, crazy. You weren't hired. I mean, as a developer first, and that's a lot of something that probably is mirroring that in our community, especially here in Axie or Ronin, is that there are a lot of projects that have spun out from the community. They started as community members, but they have like background in developing some similar to story to yours, and it's really amazing to me because I'm not a developer myself. Neither is Mr. Stark here, so
Well, now
It's-
with AI, we're all developers, right?
everyone can just vibe code.
No, but
Yeah.
I think it's as Jihos has a similar story. Of course, you left Wolf Game and he stayed with Axie, but he started off in the Discord just chatting every day until he got brought onto the team. So I think it's
Yeah, it's kind of like in Web3, I feel like, where everyone's like anonymous. This is probably like the best way to hire. Even from our team, like
Mhm.
our growth guy, Pause, he was a holder. That's how I found him. And our engineers as well. There were community members, and
Wow.
it's just in like now today's like day and age. I
Mhm.
feel like this is the best way to vet like whether someone is aligned with what you're building if they already have skin in the game. So to any other founders that are listening, I would highly recommend hiring from your own community.
anytime like things like that come across, like I try to think about like trying to explain to my parents how I can trust someone I've never met before. I've just chatted with them by text through Discord, and I can trust them more than some of my friends. It's like the all of these things are possible with the internet and with like crypto and stuff like that, where it's amazing the connections you can make, and even more so over a game, over a common passion and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like when we travel, I'll have like Web3 friends in like random countries, and I'd tell my wife, hey, I have like an online friend that I need to have go have drinks with or whatever, and then she always tells me to be careful. But it's a different world. It's Web3, man.
Exactly.
What made you like what made you take the leap to leave a game and start your own? What was there as like a is there a single moment that you can recall, or was it like a accumulation of things,
I
or
think
was it always the goal?
it was always cooking, but it was really just a perfect storm. So after Wolfgame, I did like a stint at a DeFi protocol for I think just under a year, and I was like working like finance, and I was, that was interesting as well because like the scale of money that we worked with was like in the billions, right? Um, but I always thought that I start my own gaming project because I had like strong opinions on how things should be run. And if you guys remember, in 2024, it was like there wasn't like really much going on at the time when we launched.
Yeah.
From memory. So I thought, kind of this is probably like the best time to launch when like everyone's kind of bored out of their minds. I thought we could probably, capture a lot of the nostalgic Web3 gamers. And we ended up, with the Ring Mint in 2020, late 2024, like December 13th. And yeah, it just scaled from there. It was really just like I knew that I wanted to do something, and at the time, all of these stars aligned, and then it was kind of like the perfect time to do it. So I just took the leap. Like I'm literally just some dude, right? And I just started building, and people liked what I was saying, and they joined the Discord, and we from there.
And one of those people was Jihos, right? I think that's the collaboration between the two started with you guys in DMs. I think I heard, right? Can
Yes,
you
sir.
tell us the story?
Yeah. That was a little bit later. So this was after Mog was released, but I commented on one of his posts.
Mhm.
He was wearing a hanbok, which is a Korean like traditional clothing, and I'm Korean
that was
myself.
Korean.
So what's that?
Oh. Yeah. That's when Ronan went to Korea. Did a lot of marketing there as well.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Exactly. So I was commenting, and I was like, I think I commented in Korean or something, right? And then we got chatting, and we was like, hey, we should have a call sometime. Just like no obligation, no agenda. Like we both worked in gaming, and as you know, there's everyone's leaving gaming, and there's not much of us left. So we thought, it's probably like a good chance to get to know each other and then kind of keep tabs, trade notes on what's working, what's not.
Mhm.
And on that legendary call was our first meeting. Somehow we got chatting, and Geos, I think suggested it that maybe we can do something together.
Yeah.
And for us, it's Axie is one of the OGs. If we can secure a partnership with Axie and have the opportunity to build out something using like our small like nimble team, for us it was I think for everyone it was a win-win. And that's how we started.
For a project that is built around 8 people, what you guys have accomplished is I don't know, it feels massive comparing it to teams that are probably bigger. Like you guys have shipped a lot of things, not just Mog. You've also gotten the partnership with Jiho or Axie, and have that rolling, and have that game out now, and it's being enjoyed by a good amount of people in Ronin. So that's amazing for me.
Yeah, it's incredible. The Ronin community was super welcoming. I found that they were like super willing to just try new games that entered Ronin. And of course, like the Ronin team helped with distribution, etc., etc. But I just found like the Ronin community super welcoming and like super open to trying new things. And that really helped us.
Now, going back to what Sark was asking regarding the conversation with Geo and all of that, what was the pitch, or like how did the pitch go, or who pitched what? Was it On-Chain Heroes bringing something to the table and or something like that, or was it more Jiho telling that we got this audience and all of that stuff, or how did that conversation go?
Yeah, I honestly can't really remember too much of the details, but I think it was something along the lines of Geo's at the time. He wanted to try this thing where Get like a third party team to like build out a game really quickly, and just test the genre and see if it works. And at the time, we had like Maze of Games on Abstract running, which was like a perfect candidate, some sort of like extraction dungeon crawler roguelike. And we got talking, and I think Geos proposed at first that maybe we can cook something together. And for us, who are we to say no? We were like, of course, yeah, why not? Like this is sick. So we agreed to it, and we did like a handshake agreement on how this would work. And I think we shipped it. I want to say like 2 weeks after that call, like maybe 3 weeks. So like super quickly. We like changed a lot of the code to accept like this whole white label architecture. We did all of the art from scratch, in-house using with our artists, and it was just we just moved super quick, like so quickly. I don't even remember how it happened, to be honest.
Amazing. Yeah, because the reason why we are like asking this part is Axie as an IP has always been, I don't know, guarded heavily in the past. Like Axie has not had any major partnership outside of Ronin, and for a third party to actually be able to deliver a game like this, it's just it goes back to the 2022 conversation or talk from Jiho about having 3 Axies and having or using that as your passport for experiences, multiple experiences that you can have for Axie Infinity. And having this now is just, I don't know, it feels good to me as an Axie Maxi for a long time. How do you feel about that one, Mr. Stark?
Yeah, it's like it's what's like what Scarly was saying earlier about like it's win-win, and I think that in the space it's rare that I don't know about the rarity, but it's like you don't see it very often. Things where it just works out for everybody, right? Usually someone is paying somebody, there's a lot of things happening behind closed doors. Whereas here, someone's doing somebody a favor, whereas here it just feels like it's win-win for both. So it seems like a match made in heaven. And the game is fun too.
Yeah,
that too, right?
I just want to add, like, I think what you were saying about Axies being a passport, like, I don't think we've even begun to explore what the possibilities are. Because, like, right now, it's mostly a reskin of Maze of Games, but I really do want to, not be a tourist and integrate deeply into the Axie ecosystem. So this might look something like, Axie utility within the game via some sort of like story mode. Jihos was telling me about how Axies had all of these traits and how they can play a part. And I think he was saying like, Axie already has this library of like skill sets that could possibly be integrated into the game as well. So yeah, we're really looking to spin it off into its own game with its own identity, and with deeper integrations into Axie, so that it does feel like an Axie game and not a On-Chain Heroes game.
Yeah, that excites me because I play a lot of Axie Origins. I play a lot of the card games, and I enjoy creating some meta Axies and all of that, and having a different game to create a new meta on using Axie parts and all of that is just exciting for me. So I love hearing that one.
It also seems like it's like a stepping stone for potentially even other projects to do this. And and it's exciting as an Axie holder, especially with Sky Mavis kind of pausing all games that they have and then just focusing on Atia's legacy. Being able to have new Axie experiences in the meantime is pretty good. And
I think it's a win-win, right? Like we get to tap into a new audience that I've never heard about On-Chain Heroes before, and the Axie community gets a new game using Axie IP and possibly Axie NFTs, and which doesn't take away from like Sky Mavis's focus or like engineering resources away from Atia's legacy. So it's it's a win-win for everyone.
Absolutely.
Jinx. You mentioned something about like when you created the Twitter page for On-Chain Heroes, and you had 0 followers, and how tell us more about how that all started, because I think it's the hardest thing to do whenever you're building a product, especially a game, to get your first gamers. How hard was that for you? What are the major obstacles that you faced?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is we had like a cold start, right? We just started from almost nothing. I was lucky that I was already deeply embedded within the Wolfgang community, that we could kind of bootstrap our first like 10 to 50 players from there. But other than that, it was mostly a cold start, and like that was the biggest hurdle, I guess, building an organic community from scratch. And then, we went through all of the hardships that any other game team faces. Like, for example, even like hiring our first artist was so hard, right? Because it's Web3 has like within, like, people don't know this, but like within like the art side of the internet, like Web3 is very like frowned upon. So like you have like these artists that will just not like work with you if you mention it's a crypto game.
What is that due to? Is it because of all the NFT scams and stuff like that in 2021?
Yeah. Like people people like see NFTs and they think, okay, scam. Because like I think some artists they had their like work stolen by NFT projects. And just like, I don't know. Like you look at an artist's Twitter page and it says no NFTs. So
it doesn't surprise me actually, because it's you hear about the traditional gamers or like non Web3 gamers really hating NFTs, but it doesn't surprise me that with those reasons alone why artists would hate and being associated with NFTs even more than gamers, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, really just like doing stuff from scratch was the hardest thing. Like, especially like as a first time founder who's never done any of this stuff before, being on the in the driver's seat was a whole new experience for me. But now I think I've kind of got the hang of it.
And here this time with the Axie Den, you didn't have to. Yes, it's a reskin, but it's still a new game, and you didn't have that problem. You immediately had your first 1,000 players, right? Just because of plugging in and associating with Axie. How did it look like on your end with when it comes to your existing community and the Axie or the Ronin community? How did both communities show up in your eyes on day one, let's say, of Axie Den?
Yeah, I think the Ronin side was pretty amazing because we worked with the Axie and Ronin teams to like handle distribution, and they were like putting out blog posts. When you open Ronin wallet, Den of Mysteries was popping up. They were like blasting it from their main socials. Geos was like in like spaces talking about it. So it was really amazing. Like already within like 2 weeks, the Ronin volume is just over $120,000, which is pretty fantastic for. So that's like 60,000 a week, like in less than 2 weeks. It's pretty fantastic for a game that's brand new, right? You don't really see these numbers these days on in crypto gaming. So the Ronin community showed up in a massive way. And I think like our existing holders, they also wanted to like try this new experience and like learn about Axie IP through this new game, through something that they were familiar with. So it was like a nice cross-pollination event, I think.
Yeah.
Especially
really
with the drama you guys drummed up on Twitter.
Indeed, yes.
Quite fun to witness. Because I assume anybody who was the Axie, what's it called in the Axie Infinity Discord, like the weekly recaps. I think it was teased at some point. So
Yeah.
some sort of partnership like that. So people who were in the not even insider info, but people who were just paying attention to the community announcements and stuff like that knew about it. What about in your existing community? Did people kind of know this partnership was on the horizon, or did you keep it a bit like hush hush until the
No,
announcement?
they had no idea.
Wow.
All I did was tell the team and the mods that like this is happening. So like
Yeah.
you know you know how people get in Web3. I said like if people get too toxic, then
Yeah.
just like shut it down because like this isn't like real beef. I was incredibly nervous when it went live because like I know that it's gonna be like slightly awkward if you're like bad mouthing like blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And then
it has to be
tomorrow
done
was like,
delicately.
surprise, you know what I mean? So it did its job. I don't know if we'll do something like this again.
Yeah, no, it's
But
probably
yeah,
probably something to be used sparingly, but it worked well
very
there anyway.
sparingly. Very
You got all of the Ronin and Axie haters to do free marketing, so that was good.
Oh, dude, yeah, I still get tags from some peers. I love it though. I'm used to it.
Their hate is so strong that they don't even know that it was fake.
They're being cooked.
Yeah.
In the thread. Oh god.
Just only in Web3.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. It was fun to watch as well because as Stark mentioned, we had a bit of a leak during I think it was like 2 months ago, when we had that what do you call that thing that Jace does for Axie, and it was
Community management.
community night or something.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we had a leak about it, so we had in the back of our mind, oh, okay, this is what was being teased, and we were just like watching people left and right throwing jabs at each other. I'm like, holy shit, what is going on? But it was so much fun to watch. It was great marketing. Everyone was talking about it. Yeah, it was just
Yeah, indeed. It's like, and it was like at the time we did it, it was like in Web3 gaming, the only news was like project shutting down. So
Right.
we were like, me and Geos were like, okay, let's bring some fun back to the timeline. That's related to Web3 gaming, and that's kind of how the beef started.
Yeah. All right. Now, you said something on the 12th of May that we want to also dig into because I don't think anybody's really talking about it right now. But you said you can ship games really quickly with the advancements of AI. Now, most studio founders will say that in a general way, but I want to know specifically, like, what does that actually mean for on-chain heroes, and like, what the tools you're using, like what workflow, and those kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Maze of Gains, I'll use that as an example.
Yeah.
So that's one of the games that we should recently. So that started with a GDD. So I knew that I wanted some sort of dungeon crawler at some point.
Mhm.
And we have this like in our Slack channel, we have this game ideas channel where if our team just like plays a fun game or sees like an interesting game mechanic or has like a good idea for introducing like a novel system, they'll just like throw it in there. And like 90% of them don't get actioned. But Maze of Games started as a GDD. I just like took some time and like wrote like a GDD of how this game works, how the energy system works, how it's turn-based, blah blah blah. And one of our engineers, like his name is Vibe Coder, and he like
Vibe Coder. Okay.
yeah, he in one weekend using like Claude Code just like coded it out using like AI assets, and I played it, and it was like, dude, this is like exactly what I was thinking. Like, let's ship this. And then we spent like the next 3 to 4 weeks redoing all of the art, hand pixeling everything, making sure that it was bot proof. Making sure that it's secure, writing the contracts audited, and I think from that prototype to shipping the game was like 5 weeks. I think 5 or 6 weeks.
Wow.
So this I'm telling you now, this would not have been possible without like Claude, because like it's just like super like you need to know what Claude is writing to understand like, hey, if you write it like this is gonna blow up in production and we're gonna lose a lot of money. So
Right.
we need to know like this is the right code that you're writing. But for the most part, AI can write better code than humans. So it's
And I guess if
probably
you have, because there's only
Yeah.
there's only 8 of you, right? I mean,
yeah.
and it's, I guess with this, if you've got the right 8 people, if you've picked the right core, the right foundation, then you can compete with studios that are much bigger than you, 10
Dude,
times
it's-
bigger, even, that are not properly
is-
using AI, or that have not understood it as well, or that also don't have the same creative ideas you do.
Yeah, we I think like nowadays, and even more so, the bottleneck for like shipping is me, because I can't come up with ideas fast enough for the team to implement. Previously, it was code, right? Like if I had an idea, it would take like 4 or 8 weeks to ship. But now, like these guys are shipping it in like 2 days. So a lot of time, these guys are just like, hey Scarly, I'm blocked. I need you to like talk to me about like how does this feature work. So it's really been incredible.
How long did it take you to whip up Den of Mysteries? Yes, it's a reskin, but that must have been very fast then, if it's just changing a few details, I guess.
No, it's much more complex than that. It's
It's not just one prompt in ChatGPT.
No. I wish. Like it took like a good 2 to 3 weeks, I think. Like doing the art is easy because it's like all the dimensions are the same. We know what sprites the game needs, blah blah blah. So that's just like a reskin there. But the code needed to basically the entire code base needed to be re-audited and reconfigured in such a way that it supports another chain, another variant, and like people like might think that reskin is bad, but really this is I think one of the most bullish things for us, because if we ship code, then every game we ship gets it. Like if we ship a new feature, and we are shipping like we have like a big like rework planned for DOM in like a couple of weeks. If we write this code once, we can ship it in 2 places, and like this means that DOM and Mog will they'll just continue to get updates forever on a weekly basis. So like the game, like, when it starts to get stale, we will like rework everything and introduce a new patch and new live ops to make it more interesting again. Do
you also have the option to only do it in one, or is it update for everybody all the time? Let's say you wanted to try experiment with different communities, different things. Are you able to do that as well, or is it?
Absolutely. So a good example is, I mean, it's not private, right? It's public information, but Mog has like an item system where where you can like, there's now an inventory in Mog where you can like pick up items, bombs, and like use them. And Axie doesn't have that because we wanted to like get players used to the game loop first before like throwing more features at them. And this is like an example of like how these diverged. But this is coming very soon. Probably tomorrow for Axie.
Wow. Okay, we got a leak.
Yeah, it's a little small leak.
We got him, boys.
We got it. All right, now, okay, let's go to the topic of Ronin, going back to Ethereum. So it's been 48 hours in, and I guess you made the decision to build on this network before the migration was complete, right? Now, I guess what did you see that made you confident in doing that. Was it more around that migration that's gonna be happening, or was it a mix of other things?
No, truthfully, I didn't even know the migration was happening
No.
until like a couple of days ago. Um, but like, the thing about the thing about tech is that largely, like players, they kind of don't care about the tech. Like, if you ask like the average Axie player, hey, what's your like, what's the most exciting thing about Ronin migrating to Ethereum? That they probably won't be able to like answer.
Sure.
So like for us, like the big driver was like number one, working with like a world class gaming IP. Probably the top gaming IP in the Web3 gaming IP in the world, right? Axie Infinity. And number two, like tapping into like Ronin's distribution engine, like with AI and like the advancements of like Claude and everything. Tech is not really a moat anymore, right? Distribution is, and from what I could see, if we launched on Ronin and when we were talking with Geos, that initial chat, we could see that the distribution that they can provide, like they've been doing this for years, right? That distribution was going to be like crucial for like getting this game into as many players' hands as possible. And I knew that I knew that our product was good. I knew because like we already processed like $2 million on Abstract, right? But like if we just launch it as a cold start on Ronin, maybe we find some success, maybe we don't. But in order to like really make sure that the launch was a home run, we knew that we had to tap into Ronin's distribution engine, and that was one of the key factors in choosing to launch on Ronin, because like the distribution engine it's been like the best way to put it is that it's battle tested. It's been running for years. It's like a well-oiled machine. Or people already know. Like I was talking to Geos, and he already knew what the next 10 steps were. So that was like one of the biggest reasons I think for us.
Gotcha. The only reason why I'm asking is because right now every key that's being purchased in Den of Mysteries is a transaction on Ronin, and one of the bigger chunk for the proof of distribution, the way to reward builders right now on Ronin is that, like the trading volume, transactions, new users, and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I signed up for that today. Like 2 hours before this call, I signed up for proof of distribution.
So you have no clue that there was that thing.
Dude, I didn't know. Like, the Axie team were like, hey, like, Scarly, why haven't you signed up for this yet? I was like, what is that? You know what I mean? But I was looking at it, and it's like, okay, shit, these guys are like serious about rewarding builders and like with skin in the game. So I really like the program. I signed up for it. I did everything I'm supposed to, and just kind of waiting for the next steps. And I registered all of our contracts.
You know what? I love that, the fact that you did not even know that there was gonna be some form of rewards for builders, and you're just like, okay, I just want to be partnered with Axie. Fuck everything else, and let's do it. I love that part, because
Yeah.
there is the 5 million RON, right? That's going to be annually distributed to builders, I think, on a monthly basis, that you can, I don't know, redistribute to the players. Some are actually doing something like that. But does that change the the economics of what it means to build on Ronin or versus other chains? Like in your perspective?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like this is like massive, right? Like acquiring players is the hardest thing in the world, right? And Ronin is really helping with these incentive systems. For us, right? If like the Ronin team gives us anything, we're just gonna give it out back to players, like 100% of it. Like I have no interest in keeping this. We'll give it out. Players that play the game, we'll reward them. We'll make sure that they feel rewarded. Because like we do take a cut of volume, and perhaps it's like reward system with proof of distribution alongside the B. I think the BAXS token is what we're giving out. I can't remember.
Yes, with the shard that's BAXS.
Exactly. Yes.
For the top 100 on the leaderboard.
Yes, we will just give it out. We'll just like make sure that the
That feels
players
like a leak, or at least, or did you just decide this now? Or
I mean,
No
I
going
didn't
back
know
now,
we were.
Charlie.
I didn't know we were
we were
gonna
live.
record.
Sorry.
Like it's always been our philosophy, right?
Yeah.
We'll like take what we need to like continue shipping features,
Yeah.
and we'll make sure that our players feel rewarded.
But also,
That's
it,
kind of
like
been our ethos.
it's also, it'll just get more people playing, right? If they feel like, if people are already playing, trying, thinking that they can like break even, have fun, and then get a chance of getting some DA access, stuff like that. If the proof of distribution rewards, part of them are added on top of that, it'll just make, it's could just make that little bonus. Maybe you do that extra run, maybe you do that extra, and so it'll improve the revenue for the team as well, right? So it's like,
There we
it's
go.
literally win-win. There's no reason not to
It's
do
a
it.
flywheel, right? It's
Yeah,
you're playing, we're giving out more rewards, and because we give out more rewards, more players are playing. So
Yeah,
So
and
on
then
and so
because
forth.
more people are playing, then the proof of distribution rewards go up.
exactly right. So that's probably what I'd like to see.
What? So you're building on Abstract, Maze of Gains. You're building obviously on Ronin too.
Mhm.
What advice would you give to a studio founder right now who's trying to decide what chain to pick and what chain to build on? What are your thoughts on all that? And what advice would you give?
So I think like the both teams, right? They really have a good idea on how to handle distribution. And obviously, we are in a fortunate position that we're doing well on both. Like, if you look at NFT volume or whatever on Abstract, we're number one by a large mile. I think we're at like almost $10 million in trading volume.
Wow.
So it's I think we have like a different view of like how it feels to be a new builder because we are an established team, right? So I would say, right, if I were to give any advice to new founders, it would be kind of generic, but like the best advice is not going to be given out publicly. I think the best thing to do is chat with as many founders as you can. Like even me, just DM me on Twitter, right? If you're like a builder, I'll most likely answer, and ask about like how the distribution works. Is there any like go-to-market support there? Because I can tell you like both teams have like great go-to-market strategies, but they are very different. So really, it's probably not very responsible for me to say like which is better or worse. It's you just really need to talk to as many founders as possible.
Yeah, and also I guess identify what your game needs and all of that, and try to weigh that as well, right? It's
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Yeah.
I want to like look forward, I guess, to like what the future holds for On-Chain Heroes, because this is something interesting for me because I am an avid MMO. I like RPG type of games, and when I read this earlier, OCH world,
Yes.
a persistent world with questing professions, and you mentioned earlier there is now inventory in Mog. That just juggles my mind and takes me to, there might be some form of RPG kind of game here that's going to be happening. So I'd like to learn more about that. If you can, share some stuff.
Absolutely. So like, a lot of our holders already know that Arch World is coming, and this is our take on a persistent RPG. But like our angle, like there's just so many good games shipping RPGs right now, and all of them are likely going to be competing for the same player base.
Mhm.
So our angle is that the game that we're shipping is an idle RPG with like a more focus around trading and like crafting and the economic aspect of things.
Mm.
So it's not like a game that you can grind. So if you think about it, like the niche that we're going for is like players that love to play RPGs and like we're spending time trading at the auction house, but maybe don't have too much time to be grinding it out all day. Like for me, I have like a 1-year-old kid that's running around, so I can't be playing like multiple hours of a game. Otherwise, my
What? You can't do a 10-hour raid on World of Warcraft?
oh
What do
no
you
no
mean?
no no. My wife will throw my PC away. But
And you as well, I think, if you do that.
exactly, yeah. So that's the niche that we're going for.
Mhm.
It's in development, and it's going to have like a deep intertwine with like the MOG, like so the abstract version of DOM's economy. So like you play like DOM runs. So like we're shipping like story mode soonish. You play DOM runs, you get resources, and you can sell them on the marketplace. And those and if you have to think about like who's the marginal buyer for these, right? Who's buying, right? And then after that, we have is like, okay, it's going to be like these All-Chain Heroes world players because they need those resources because these runs are the only way that you can get them. And then it's vice versa as well, right? So these guys are also like crafting potions and like equipment or whatever that you can take into like the DOM runs, or the MOG runs, I should say. DOM, I need to check with Geos, like what the plans are there. But this is like.
Have it linked up with some Atia's legacy resources, maybe.
Ah,
Dude,
yeah.
if Geos gives me the green light, we'll do it. We can do it, right? We do engineering in house.
I mean, there were a couple of conversation when G-Host was here, when we were talking to him about TS Legacy, how that aspect would intertwine with other existing Axie games. We were talking about the stuff that you craft inside Origins, which are the runes and charms and all of that, can be something in TS Legacy at one point. And yeah, that was a really interesting conversation. And I like the direction of OCH as well, because it aligns to, I guess, to that aspect, right? So it can probably be brought over to Den of Mysteries as well at one point.
Of course.
Question mark?
We have in-house engineering teams, smart contract, whatever we need to get this deal done. But really, this isn't a engineering problem. It's like does this make sense for both games problem? And I'm always open to it. I'm having a weekly catch-ups with Geo, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I want to go back to what you said, like the idle OCH World idle RPG, because I think it's for me, I would be the kind of gamer that's interested and targeted by that, because I think it's a conversation that's not had enough about like what kind of gamers are you trying to attract and how much time do they have. The gamers you're trying to like. I think if it's like it's the guys or the girls who were playing 15, 20 years ago when they had time to play, but now maybe have less time to play.
Right.
And I always get kind of put off when some games are just. I mean, it's good too. You need games where people can know life and grind, right? But I always see those, and I'm still waiting for a game where I can feel enthralled by it without all the time constraints. Like I know myself, and it's like I cannot play a game where like I don't allow myself to play a game if I. Like it's like I'm a recovering addict from games like that, so you don't even start playing them. We need games where there's not that pull, where you feel like you're abandoning your friends when you're walking away from the screen and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great avenue to go down, and I hope it attracts enough gamers for it to be a success, right?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I like to say that if everyone's trying to build the next RuneScape, we're trying to build like the next Melvor Idol, which is like the idol version of RuneScape.
Nice.
All right, but is this like the partnership that you guys had with Axie? Is this like a one-off, or could it be like a playbook that you're probably going to be using again with, I don't know, other IPs or communities that you'd want to build with? Or
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, please continue. No, please finish your question.
Yeah. So I was just gonna ask if there are like other communities that you're also looking into to build with, like something similar to what you've done with Den of Mysteries.
Yeah, I think like we have it open. Like we can white label it for any community we want, but I think we will be like quite selective to make sure that the partnership makes sense. I'm not interested in maintaining like 20 different copies of MOG. So the TLDR is like yes, but we'll be selective around the teams that we partner with. For example, like I think like say like different projects on Ronin, if we do like we would probably just never do like a mob for like different teams on Ronin. Instead, we would do a partnership with Dom and bring their IP inside Dom. So for example, like, I love like the Moku artwork. Imagine if you could like play
Right.
for a Moku skin box and you could like play as your favorite Moku in there. So that's kind of the direction that I think would take, rather than doing like a separate version for each game, because that kind of like fragments liquidity and like player bases, and I don't know. That's at least my take on it.
I think
Yeah,
it's a
that
good
is
take.
really interesting. And if you have not looked into the Ronke community, yeah,
Yeah. Dude,
that's
those
a fun
guys,
community.
they keep like posting like wonky pics under my posts, and it's like the dumbest stuff. It's like
Shout out the
Wonky, like-
Ronki army. These guys are
bending over.
nutcases.
You know what I mean?
Ronke tarded. That's what-
Yeah. I love that.
All right. So I guess we're running into the end of this conversation, but what do you think is the success look like for Den of Mysteries? What would you say, or what could it be that you would call it a win?
Yeah, I think me and Geos, like internally, we set some KPIs on like what this would actually sound like.
Mhm.
And the biggest, I think, KPI that we care about is like volume, right?
Mhm.
And the goal, I think, we said if we can hit like 100K volume by week 4, like this would be great. This would be like a very successful win. And we're already on
You surpassed it
120K
already.
2 weeks in. So I think
You're gonna need some bigger KPIs.
yeah, and
You need to raise that bar, Gio.
Need to up those
Yeah.
numbers.
exactly right. Paying
Exactly.
players is also like something that we're tracking. We're just under 2K at the moment. I think I hope to see this go up to like 4 or 5K. But really, like volume is the one thing that we're tracking. Like how do people, is it sticky? If someone plays once, how often are they going to play again? And those metrics, they look good so far, and they'll look even better with the retention metrics, retention levers that we're going to pull in these coming weeks.
Yeah, what worked for me, to be honest, is the when you introduce the skin
Yes.
for new skins. That was like, okay, I need to get one of those, and I was
Yeah.
able to get the one of the legendary Ginger.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with this win, and that was like something that I really grinded for.
Exactly right. Because like we knew that we probably never wanted to like sell skins.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I feel like we're not there yet. We're in the position to be able to like feel good about selling skins. So rather like you can just earn them through gameplay. Like you can just keep playing for the prize pool, but as a nice like bonus, you can earn these skins. And I think that feels good for us, and it feels good for the players as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of the players, as we close up, is there anything you want to say directly to the Axie and Ronin community, to the ones who've been playing Den of Mysteries?
Yeah, I think first, thanks for trying out this like new game from this small team. And second, I would really love to see feedback, like maybe the not so good feedback on like what could be improved or how we can make this better, like what feels bad, etc. So if you have any of this, feel free to like tag me in a post.
I have feedback for you. I would like more blessing, please.
More blessings.
Is that
This
the
is
kind
the
of
only
feedback?
one that I cannot.
Oh, God. So you want
It's a-
better feedback than that, I guess.
Better feedback than that. Yeah.
Stark had a question at the beginning of the show. he was
Mhm.
asking me like, what are the chances of getting a doggo in a run? And I was telling him you need to have at least 5 keys, but some were like having 10 keys per run. But can you get a doggo by chance for 1 key?
Of course, like I think someone posted it on Twitter. They got a blessing for like $230 or something
Jesus.
using a single key, and it was like their like third one or something.
Yeah,
So
it's a skill
it is
issue, Stark.
possible.
Yeah. Okay. Skill issue then. I just need to do more runs.
Do more runs, yeah.
All right. So, to the viewers that are watching the game, right? I mean, the show right now, you can actually try the game at axidom.xyz, and I believe there's a creator contest running for
I think so.
1,000.
I think Ronan's running one.
Yeah, well, there's a 1,000 BXS in prizes. So if you are a creator watching this show right now, make sure to create those videos. YouTube is probably the best place, or TikTok. We want to expand not just inside crypto Twitter. So post those videos and make sure to follow Scarly Warley and On-Chain Heroes to stay close to what they're building. OCH World is something that I'm going to be looking forward to, and I will
Let's go.
probably dive into that one. So, Scarly, it's been a pleasure, man. You've shown us what's possible with a really small team, 8 people, and started with you in the beginning only, and you were able to move a lot of, you know, things, and we're able to ship out a lot of good games in the space. So, we hope that this is the first of many times we have you on.
Amazing, yeah. We'll do it again. Just let me know.
Yeah, it was nice having you on. Thanks for coming on.
All right, sounds good. Talk to you guys later. See ya.
See ya.
All right. See you, Scarly. And for the
Bye.
rest of you that are still watching the show, we are going to be giving away the keys. How do we
haven't-
do it, Mr. Sark?
Usually we forget about the giveaway, but this time we didn't. we have Angry Breads in the DM saying, "Don't forget the giveaway." So what I think what we'll do is on axidom.xyz there's a chat box. So
Okay.
we have 20 keys to give away. So just
20 keys.
type Ronin Radio in the Axidom chat, in the game chat, not in our chat here on the live stream, but in the game chat. Axidom.xyz. Sign in and then just type Ronin Radio, and we'll get 20 wallet addresses.
Do we get
No.
20 addresses, or do we give them time, like a minute or 2 minutes to flood it, and then we'll take a screenshot or something? I don't know. I'm just
Yeah, we can do that too. What do you think we should do?
yeah, I think we just have them put Ronin Radio. Gainaka is already in there. Axie, or it's already in there. Oh my God, you guys are fucking in there. All right, MCXX is also in there. Okay, we're gonna take a screenshot, and maybe we can divide the.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll give you guys a minute or two, or like maybe 5 minutes, and then we'll get the wallet addresses.
All right, let's
Yeah,
do
it was
5 minutes.
it was a fun show. It's always interesting. First of all, getting to meet someone new in the space, right? But also a successful founder, so to speak, because in a especially in a space and a time where a lot of games are shutting down,
Yeah.
it's the amount of survivors goes down, but that also means that the quality of what's out there is higher, because
Exactly. What I like about the conversation as well is the AI pivot that they are doing right now with their game, because I'm not sure if it was the last conversation that we had, or the other, or the one before that, where we talked about the game that was blaming AI instead of actually utilizing it. And I love teams that are, keeping up with the time in terms of the tools that are available, and not just making it as an excuse to not ship out and like do stuff with it.
Sorry for the chuckle. I just saw Angry Bread right.
Not Angry Bread. Yes, Eris, and yes, we also have your name here in the list. We
Yeah.
might give 2 for each person here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I imagine also there's people playing the game, putting the name, like you see the chat. It's never a bad thing to when you see someone spamming something. That's how you know there's a giveaway going on.
Can we share the screen for Ronin Radio so that we can have
One
we
second.
can clip it later.
Uh,
There we go. We are in the chat. I like this chat feature as well. Not too many games have a chat function,
it's a global chat,
right? Right now,
Yes,
it's a weekly pool is 15K. There is, I think, one more day left for the leaderboard.
It's still Friday. Yes, I think it recycles every Friday. I didn't play this week actually. Maybe I'll get some runs in. Wow, these guys are fucking nutcases, bro.
All right, we need to probably take. Oh my god, that's crazy numbers. 392. How 1575 keys? Holy. How? I want to see, or the functionality that I'd like to request from the team is to be able to see what the potential of that person in the top of the leaderboard is.
What do you mean? Oh, like what
if you
he's
click,
what
if you
he's-
click on it, like I want to see how much he would probably be getting,
yeah.
the top prize, so that it creates some form of FOMO in me to actually play some more.
To be able to click on it to get, even though you can do the math yourself, right? If you see the global pool list, you can do it yourself. So it would be nice to just click and see, just to as an extra incentive.
Yeah, it's
This decent pool of BAXS too.
1887. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Is that like is that like similar to how Origins is, that it's this is like 41 BAXS that he's going to be getting?
No, I think there's a set pool of BAXS every week, and it's just shared proportionately.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, we have all you Ronin Radio.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
first 20. Okay, first 20. So we started at 10:08. So we have 1 minute left. If we still don't have 20 here, there are some repeat. Shags, I see you. Scammer. Eras as well. You scammer. I know these guys. You guys are scamming us. MCXX. Shout out to you guys. All right, 1 minute. Okay, that's it. We are gonna stop at kick 12721, and we're gonna count backwards. And now we're gonna start with Gay Naka, and then we're gonna count towards 20. And if you didn't make the cut, unfortunate.
You had loads of time. You'll just have to keep asking for keys in chat like everybody else does.
This chat is not a global chat anymore. It's like give keys chat. All right, thank you so much for staying with us. And luckily, our show supervisor did not had his internet or his electricity cut off, and I didn't get my electricity cut off as well.
Yeah, and I didn't. I know. I'm not in the Philippines, and I'm supposed to have good power in France, but you never know. It could have been me as well. No technical issues this show.
Wow.
So it's a first. So we better end the show before something happens.
Another coffee incident.
I think what I take away from this show is also like the story of this guy who started off as a community member, then a tool builder, then a dev, and then into a founder. It's
what I like about
Web3
his
dream
background,
kind of, like everybody who's building kind of wants this story, So it's an inspiration for other builders to see what's possible. So I'm excited.
What I like
follow
about
the
his
journey.
background though is he has an accounting, he has logistics.
Yeah,
It's like a
That's
good
true.
combination of skills that you can, wish to have on a founder, and he has it.
Yeah,
Amazing.
some founders, especially of defunct games, could have used a little bit better accounting, I think. So
Not throwing shade to anyone,
no, I would never. I'm not known for that at all.
Just read his tweet. He's not like that. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next Ronin Radio.
Next week we have Berlin from Kojin, and we'll be showing you guys some gameplay. It'll be a good one.
You get to play?
Exciting. Yeah. He
Okay.
can play now. Actually, he's built. So he's had to come off Epic Games, but there's a standalone launcher. I'll be playing this week leading up to next week's show, so I'll be posting a bit about it. I'm excited.
It's gonna be a long weekend then.
I finally have
fun.
a reason to use my new PC other than playing Axie Infinity Origins. My $2,000 PC can go to actually the graphics card can start doing some work.
Yeah. I just have to. I'm thinking about that one. I have a graphics card here.
Yeah, Can't hear you.
I have not installed it, but
Ooh. It's just out of its box laying around.
yeah, it's out of the box. It's laying around.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I tried to plug it in the other day, but I couldn't get the configuration right, and it was like, automatically shutting down the PC and all that stuff. So that's something that I'll figure out, and I will use it in playing Kojin. But yes, we are gonna be out of here. Thank you again so much for tuning in. This has been Gunlock, and together with me is Mr. Stark, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Not a chance that I can't hear any of you fuckers right now, and you actually are.
Oh, shut